The thought of losing you has left them deeply shaken, a wound so profound it has etched itself into the very core of their being. Every day, they carry this trauma with them, a silent burden that gnaws at their peace of mind, leaving them restless and unsettled. Anxiety clings to them like a shadow, and fear courses through their veins like an unrelenting tide. You may not realize the depth of this, but your absence haunts them in ways words cannot fully capture. Their heart trembles at the idea of a life where you are no longer present, and the uncertainty of whether they can ever hold you again pushes them to the brink of desperation. All they want, what they crave more than anything, is for you to wait for them, to give them the time to prove that they can rise to the level you deserve. They know, with startling clarity, that with you it has always been all or nothing. There was never room for half-hearted attempts or fleeting gestures. This truth has hit them harder than they could have imagined. They have come to understand that you are someone who commands not just affection but loyalty, respect, and a depth of commitment that cannot be imitated. Half measures will not satisfy you, and this realization has forced them into a spiral of self-reflection. They now see that if they are to have any chance at reclaiming your love, they must give you nothing less than their whole heart, their whole soul, their whole being. And yet, as they wrestle with this awakening, they cannot ignore the profound changes that have unfolded within you. Your transformation has not gone unnoticed. The world around you has begun to marvel at the way you carry yourself now, confident, grounded, radiant in your own skin. You exude a presence that is both magnetic and inspiring, a testament to the battles you have fought and the strength you have cultivated. People admire you for the way you've embraced yourself, flaws and all, with a kind of courage that few possess. Among those who have been captivated by this change is your person. Their admiration for you, already immense, has deepened into something that borders on reverence. They see you standing tall, no longer shackled by the weight of past struggles, and while this fills them with pride, it also pierces them with urgency. Your strength, though inspiring, reminds them that the choice lies squarely in your hands now. The balance of power has shifted, the ball is in your court, and they can no longer take for granted that you will choose them. This new reality terrifies them, for your independence is both their greatest source of pride and their greatest source of fear. On one hand, they are awestruck by your resilience. They are proud of the way you've reclaimed yourself, and they feel an almost sacred reverence for the courage you embody. On the other hand, your newfound ability to thrive without them unsettles them deeply. The more you resist their attempts to draw close, the more their determination hardens. Your independence, instead of driving them away, only fuels their resolve. It has become the catalyst for their deepest commitment yet. They are more determined than ever to prove themselves worthy of you, to give you the happiness you deserve, to offer you the kind of partnership you once dreamed of but never fully received. But while they are caught up in this storm of resolve, you have embraced another truth, the courage to walk alone. Like a lone wolf who has survived countless battles, you have grown weary of the exhausting dynamics that once defined your relationship. You have reached a breaking point, no longer willing to compromise your peace of mind or your well-being for a love that demands more than it gives. This strength has been hard-won. You have bled for it, cried for it, broken apart and pieced yourself together again to arrive at this moment. And now, you embrace it with a fierce, wholehearted defiance. Meanwhile, your silence torments them. It is a silence that echoes in their mind, reverberating through every thought and leaving them unable to focus on anything else. They are distracted, haunted by your absence, consumed by the thought of what you might be feeling or thinking. Every hour without your voice feels unbearable, and yet they force themselves to endure it. They try to hide their desperation, terrified that if they reveal how much they need to hear from you, it will drive you even further away. So they wear their own mask, calm, collected, seemingly mature. They strive to appear composed, to demonstrate that they are no longer the same person who faltered before. Desperation, they know, will not win your heart back. Instead, they wish to show you that they have grown, that they are capable of meeting you at the level you now stand, that they can be someone you can trust with your heart. You, however, have moved into a season of abundance and emotional fulfillment. You've worked tirelessly to reach this place, clawing your way out of despair and rebuilding your life piece by piece. Your strength is evident to all who see you. It radiates from your presence, a quiet yet unshakable power. Your resilience has not only carried you forward but also inspired those around you. To your person, this resilience is both awe-inspiring and humbling. They admire the way you have weathered storms and still managed to stand tall. They see you as someone destined for greatness, someone who refuses to be defined by pain, someone who embodies courage and grace. This admiration, however, comes with responsibility. They know they cannot approach you as they once did, with half-truths or shallow gestures. They cannot afford to repeat the mistakes of the past. They must prove themselves through actions, not words. They must show that the mask they once wore, a mask that shielded them from pain but also kept them from true intimacy, has been cast aside. For so long, that mask was their armor. It allowed them to hide their insecurities, their fears, their vulnerability. It kept them safe, but it also kept them from being fully known. They became so accustomed to the facade that they lost touch with their authentic self, forgetting what it felt like to be genuine. But when they met you, everything changed. With you, they felt something they had never felt before, the safety to be themselves. You offered them a light so pure, so nurturing, that it became impossible to keep the mask on in your presence. You brought out the best in them. You became their anchor, their safe haven, their guiding star. Running, which had always been their default, no longer felt like an option. And yet, overwhelmed by the depth of their feelings, they did run. They fled, not because they did not care, but because they cared too much. They were terrified of the vulnerability you stirred in them, of the rawness of being truly seen. But every attempt to distance themselves only confirmed what they already knew: without you, their life feels like it is falling apart. You were the first person to see them clearly, without judgment, without expectation, simply as they were. That frightened them, but it also fascinated them. They still remember the first time your eyes met theirs, those mesmerizing eyes that seemed to pierce through every layer of defense, leaving them exposed yet accepted. Your gaze held a kind of love and understanding they had never experienced before, a love that felt unconditional. That memory alone is enough to leave them breathless, longing to be in your presence again. Even now, they daydream of you. In their mind, you are together again, free from the burdens of pretense, masks, and fear. Just two souls intertwined, loving and being loved. Their past had convinced them that such a connection was impossible. They had been scarred so deeply that love seemed like nothing more than a fairy tale, a fantasy reserved for others but never for them. They built walls around their heart to protect themselves, to ensure they would never be hurt again. But then you came into their life, and those walls began to crumble. You showed them that love is not only real but also transformative. You melted the ice around their heart, awakening feelings they thought they had buried forever. And yet, they wronged you. They know this with every fiber of their being. They carry the weight of regret like a heavy stone pressed against their chest. They tried to move on, to fill the void you left with others, but no one could ever compare. Every attempt was a hollow echo of what they truly craved: you. They miss you with an ache that words cannot fully express. Your absence is felt in every corner of their life, in every quiet moment, in every fleeting thought. They realize now that in trying to protect themselves from pain, they inflicted it on you instead. And the guilt of that choice lingers, sharp and unrelenting. To them, you are home. You are the one they long for, the one who makes them feel alive, the one who fills their world with meaning. Without you, their life is nothing but a series of empty moments. They imagine a future where the two of you can stand side by side, unafraid, unmasked, fully yourselves. A future where love is not a battlefield but a sanctuary. You have shown them the beauty of authenticity, and for that, they are profoundly grateful. They promise themselves that if given the chance, they will work tirelessly to be the person you deserve, to cherish the love you have given them, to never take you for granted again. But the ache of missing you never leaves. It follows them everywhere, a constant companion in the chaos of life. No matter where they go or what they do, reminders of you surface. A fleeting glimpse of someone in a crowd, a song that once made them smile, a memento of your shared moments, each one is a dagger of longing. They bury themselves in work, trying to drown out the ache with busyness, but even then your shadow lingers. They surround themselves with friends, seeking comfort in laughter and distraction, but it only amplifies the emptiness of your absence. Even music betrays them. Melodies that once brought joy now serve as painful reminders of loss. They try to lose themselves in the notes, but each song only intensifies the ache, turning silence into a deafening roar of longing. And amidst this turmoil, they come back to one unshakable truth: both of you are caught in a cycle of silence. Neither dares to break it, afraid of what lies on the other side. Still, beneath the fear, a glimmer of hope flickers. They know that communication is the only key to breaking the stalemate. It is the only path forward, the only chance at reclaiming what was lost. It terrifies them to bare their heart again, to risk rejection, but the thought of never trying at all is worse. They cannot imagine living forever in the limbo of silence, trapped by what-ifs. So they gather their courage, trembling but resolute. In their heart, they know it is better to risk rejection than to endure another day in the suffocating void of your absence. So, with trembling hands and a heart weighed down by hope, they prepare to reach out. This time, they are ready to step into the messy, beautiful chaos of love, where silence no longer binds you, but where the two of you can meet, authentically and unafraid, and finally find your way home to each other.